Yeah, BoxingScene.com at the Manhattan Center, where we caught up with the uncle and trainer of Curtis Stevens, who just last week lost a controversial stoppage in the 8th round in WBC youth title fight. Andre, give us your assessment of the fight starting from the beginning.
Well, Curtis started off a little bit slower than usual, but he was boxing well. Working the body, jabbing, looking for opportunity. I was happy about that. The bout progressed and he was working on Marcos. He cut his eye early in the bout. He was really punishing his body. And I thought at that point Marcos would slow down, but he didn't. He kept coming. But that's what a young champion needs to learn. What happens when you have an opponent, an adversary that's going to bring it to you. As the bout progressed and there was an initiation and Curtis hit him with a low blow, at that point the bout was changing a bit. The dynamics were changing. But Curtis was still well ahead. When he was hit with the right uppercut, he was buzzed. He told me, and I could look in his eyes, we have our signal. And he told me when he started bouncing that he was all right. When he got up on his bounce, I knew he was okay. When the action picked up again and they clinched, I could not understand the referee stopping that bout at all. I ran it through my head time and time again. I watched it on the tape. You're going to see it on Sunday, and you can make your own assessment about it. But there is no way on God's green planet, with all that I've been seeing in the last few weeks, Vladimir Gotti, about where you have two guys really going at it, but Gotti clearly hurt on several occasions. There's no stopping. Curtis was hit one time. He was buzzed. Don't get me wrong. But he shook it off, and you got to give a young, upcoming athlete a chance to assess himself and to work. It didn't happen.
Let's take it back to the 6th round, the round where the low blow came. Many people are speculating that the low blow was intentional due to the tide changing in the fight.
Well, what I noticed was Marcos was roughing him up a little bit with some shots and then some rough house tactics, pushing his head down and everything else. A bad response. He said it wasn't intentional. In my eyes, I thought it was. Shouldn't have happened. You have to be a professional, consummate professional at all times. Leave that in the street. Handle your affairs with your attacks and your combinations.
I noticed that he did get hit with a low blow, but it seemed to me like he went a little bit Hollywood. He took it a little further than what the actual damage looked to be. What do you think about the opponent when he went down on the floor and started doing all the antics?
Oh, his Oscar performance, his Academy Award-winning performance, unbelievable. If he wanted to quit, he should have just quit. But for him to roll around as long as he did, it was unconscionable. It didn't even make any sense at all.
Do you think that gave him some kind of leverage coming back in, taking more than a 5-minute rest, I believe?
Well, of course he had a chance to rest. He was bruised, he was battered. He needed time to recoup. He's a vet. No matter his journeyman status, he's still a vet. He knows how to fight. He has some cagey trick, and he used them to the best of his ability and his advantage on a young pugilist who is learning the game.
So, real quick, what can we expect Curtis back, and do you think he will rebound from this?
Oh, he'll definitely rebound. He's a warrior. He's going to give his all. We'll be better for this, regardless of how the protest goes. We'll be better for it. We'll rise to a new occasion, and it'll make him a better athlete.
Andre, speaking of protest, you did file a protest towards the stoppage. What do you hope comes out of that protest?
Nothing more than some basic vindication of what went on. Basic vindication.
Isn't the vindication coming when the rematch returns in September?
Oh, when they do rematch, if Marcos wants to rematch Curtis, he will be ready to exact his vindication upon him. from a political standpoint, I'm looking for this to be a no contest, and we can start all anew.
Hey, Andre, we appreciate your time, and most of all, we appreciate your honesty.
Thank you very much, as always. Number one.